Many people will talk about the reality that Elon Musk himself owns more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. Is that a moral issue? Are we comfortable with that?
You know, I'm tired of this. You guys, please do not make me start really having, not to say having Elon's back, but like, bro, what are you talking about? Man, so what? Look, you don't want to know my position on Elon Musk. You don't. But that said, I do not do this thing where it's like, oh, that person has way too much money because another person doesn't have the same amount of money. Once you say this about Elon, no matter how you feel about him, you take that precedent for yourself. Y'all not going to get me again like y'all did with Obamacare. Have me up here thinking that you guys were talking about yourselves. You were talking about me the whole time, telling me that I had too much money and I didn't need to get this type of insurance. I should be paying more in insurance. Anyway, that said, Andrew Wilson with Bernie Sanders, the ultimate woke liberal leftist. You know, it just doesn't get any woker than Bernie Sanders. Let's watch a little bit of the clip and see how it goes. I mean, he probably does corner Bernie Sanders a bit. Andrew Schulz. Did I say Andrew Wilson? Andrew Schulz. He probably does, but he probably doesn't corner him that much because they think that these people are still somehow, you know, genuine. There's nothing genuine about Bernie Sanders and his cheeks. All right, let's go ahead.
It's a simple question. And there are some people who say, hey, yeah, that's okay. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Elon's a brilliant guy. He's a hardworking guy. Other billionaires start their own companies. They're really bold and brave. Fine. They deserve it. And if you are trying to get by on $40,000 a year, well, tough crap.
How do you think Elon feels about it?
I don't know him. I've only talked to him many years ago, so I don't know him personally. But I'll tell you what I do think. I think there is a new breed of uber capitalists out there who really believe, and they write about this as well, who really believe that they are superior human beings. You know, I'm telling you, this is the quote unquote high IQ guys who say, look, we work hard, we're smart, we have started these businesses.
So the victor go the spoils.
Not only that, I think that's yes. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I made it. Yeah. You didn't make it. Hey, man, that's the way life goes. It's deeper than that. You have some writing on the far right, which really diminishes democracy, and that really the smart and the wealthy and the powerful have the right to rule. So this is not just, I want a tax break. There's nothing new about that.
Yeah.
This is, we have the right. It's the divine, it used to be the divine rights of kings.
Or manifest destiny.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Back in the 19th century, the 1850s,
This is quite the most disingenuous argument. And I know if I get into it, people are going to say, oh, you feel some type of way and this, that, and the other. Let me tell you, again, like I said, I want people to make as much money as they can in the world. This is America. For real, to keep it real, like, definitely like with YouTube and stuff like that. Like, what? There's a lot of money to be made out here, and you don't have to spend like time, this insane amount of time breaking your back, the whole bit. It doesn't have to be like this. That said, if he's gonna go ahead and talk about these chosen people, if you will, then can you really talk about the chosen people? He's not. So let's just keep watching.
I am the king. God made my family king. And sorry you're starving to death, but that's the way life goes. God told me my family rules. There was some of that mentality.
So there's something about this that's just quite interesting that I've seen lately. And it's actually not lately. There is a trend with the ultra wealthy, which is upon their death, a lot of them have decided to give away their money, right?
Some of their money.
Or some. Okay, some of the most prolific, right? Or as they get closer to death, they're like, our goal is to give away all our money. Okay, which seems to tell me that they think that there is an issue with them having all that money. If they truly felt entitled to it, like, it seems to me it's an admission that they agree with you. They're like, it's kind of wrong that we should just keep all this in our family. We should probably not have it. Now, they're not, it's almost like Benjamin Franklin freeing his slaves on his death. He's like, he's like, this is wrong, but I don't want to leave it until, I might need some shit and my back hurts. But what do I do? And so when you see billionaires do that, right, or this elite class that you're talking about, do that, is there a part of you that goes, you're getting it. Why don't you do that maybe 40 years earlier?
No.
Okay.
Look, if these guys are very competitive. They're very smart. They're very innovative, hardworking. And I really think it's very competitive. And I think they won it all. I really do. And I think if you stop for a moment, well, I hope we can talk a little bit about a corrupt campaign finance system.
Please. Yes.
All right. Getting back to the Democrats and the Republicans.
But before we even get to all of that, Democrats and corrupt and, and all of that, right? Like, yeah, just move on. Move on. Bernie, you know why I can't stand this? Like, it's so, like, Bernie Sanders sits there, he'd be like, well, we don't have war. And you know what? Israel needs to stop doing what it's doing to the Palestinians. And then he'll go and sign another, like, billions of dollars, for that other country that Ben Shapiro loves a lot. Disingenuous. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell.
And all that stuff. Understand, I'm in the middle of it. I work in Washington, D.C., So just using Musk again as an example, he's only one. I don't mean to pick on Mr. Musk, but the guy contributes because of a broken and corrupt campaign finance system.
Why don't you use, I don't know, Peter Thiel? Alex Karp? Okay, Peter Thiel.
As a result of Citizens United Supreme Court decision, you're familiar with that, allows billionaires to start super PACs.
Can you really quickly just tell the audience exactly what it is? Because I feel like we hear these words like Citizens United, and a lot of people, like, we just...
And super PACs.
Yeah, so we just kind of pretend that we know what it is.
Okay.
But...
we have the First Amendment that says you have freedom of speech.
Of course.
Okay. So wealthy individuals, in a case called Citizens United, I don't remember all the details, basically said, look, we had at that point, Citizens United, I think, is 15, 20 years, that decision from the Supreme Court decision. So people go into the court and say, look, I have a First Amendment right to tell the people of America how I feel about an issue or a candidate.
Absolutely.
I don't like Andrew, and I want to spend $20 million on television ads telling people what a jerk he is, okay?
Making me feel like Jamal Bowman.
All right, that's another story. All right.
Why can't we talk about that story? Well, I'll tell you about that story. There is a certain lobby that starts with an A, and then it ends with a PAC, okay? And they spent millions of dollars getting rid of Jamal Bowman. And I can't stand Jamal Bowman as a representative. Or Cory Booker or like Cory Bush, that's her name. They did that to her too. I can't stand neither one of them with Democrats. I think they're the most wokest, most annoying thing. I also don't need a foreign lobby coming in and dictating my government to me. But proceed.
And the Supreme Court says no. We have campaign finance. There's campaign finance law which limits the amount of money you can spend on a campaign.
So there's already a law in place.
There's already
legislation that said you cannot do that.
That's what Citizens United did. It said the Supreme Court ruled that billionaires, that advertising is freedom of speech, and you can't limit my speech. So if I want to spend $100 million on TV ads, I have the right to do it. They said, you're right. So the issue is democracy versus billionaires being able to spend unlimited sums of money. Supreme Court went with that. And then the form it took was what's called a super PAC. You start an organization, Americans for Freedom, okay? And billionaires can put as much money as they want into that. That organization then runs ads on television. It does political stuff. That's what it's about. So bottom line, though, most importantly, is if you are a billionaire, you can put as much money as you want into a super PAC. And in Musk's case, he spent $270 million to help Donald Trump get elected president.
Why wouldn't he talk about this? Is why I hate these. All right, let me be careful with that word. Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. These people are here to. It's all a. What it is like it's all just like chum in the water to make you think that like, oh yeah, Bernie's real. He's talking about the real. Why wouldn't he talk about what's the name? Mira Adelson, the Adelsons, and how much millions of dollars they gave Donald Trump to ensure that we destroy the Middle East over there for, other purposes. This is why I couldn't vote for Trump. And irritates me. Like, it makes me so upset. It does. And somebody be like, Dad, it make you that upset because you couldn't vote for Trump? It's not just about that. It's like, I don't believe in a lot of this stuff anymore. I believe in God, so God is good and everything is going to be great. But at the same time, I'm like, not but towards God. And at the same time, I'm being stripped away of a sovereign country. And we're not allowed to talk about it. Because if you talk about it, people will say, oh, you're so obsessed with that, China. Or if you talk about it, people say, you're hateful, China. Or if you talk about it, people will say, you know, I'm not watching you anymore, China. In front of our eyes, we're losing sovereignty by the minute. Look up the Esther Project. Look it up. Project Esther. Just look it up. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.